What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new episode. Coach Joe here with Heartletics.com. And today we're going to be talking about starting off small. But here's the thing. When you start off small, you're going to get massive amounts of success. And we're going to be talking about specifics about that in today's episode, which I'm really excited about. Because at the end of the day, if you start off small, right, apply just the basics, but master consistency along with that, have the proper mindset, which we're going to be talking about in today's episode. Honestly, like anything that you want to achieve is going to happen in your life. That could be anything from career, finances, a better relationship. It doesn't matter. Anything. But specifically, we're going to be talking about your health and fitness goals. Since this is a health and fitness channel, let's just, dive right into talking specifically about that. So this is what I want you to do. I want you to start off small, and I want you to focus on what is the thing that you can do and not give up with. What is the thing that you can do and make a promise, which is very key. All right. I want you to put your life on this, because if anything in life that you want to have success with and you want to achieve, sometimes it means like you got to take action. You got to take ownership. You got to take commitment of that. And if it's not high up on your priority list, like think about it. At the end of the day, if you don't really care about your health and fitness goals, and let's just say, oh, I want to lose 50 pounds, right? But you don't really want it bad enough. Like, guess what? That, pizza, the beer, right? Not showing up to the gym, like all that is going to be a big distraction that's probably going to overfill your desire with losing the weight, losing the 50 pounds, and it might not happen. And so at the end of the day, this is going to be your first tip right here, is you have to make a promise with yourself. And I truly mean that. Now, in today's society, all right, a lot of guys, we're soft. That's just the facts, If we want food, hey, we drive to the store, we drive to get some fast food, we go upstairs in the fridge, right? We don't have to hunt like how it was back when we were caveman and cavewomen. If, let's say, we want something, some form of knowledge or some form of information, hey, instead of going to the library, right, and reading through different articles and books, hey, we can just go to Google and YouTube. All that information is right there. In today's society, once again, we are very soft. We are very catered, so to speak. And so I want you to first and foremost take ownership, okay? And take it very seriously when you make a promise with yourself. And with me, for example, I'll always use myself first and foremost, right? I've been consistently making these podcast episodes since I turned 30 back in August. Consistently, okay? We're coming up here, and so like I got like what? 6 more, 7 more, 8 more months, something like that, 8 more months, right, of consistently do this, because this is the promise that I made myself. No ifs, ands, or buts, whether I feel like it or not, I'm showing up on the podcast Monday through Friday, giving you guys some value. That's it. I made a promise, okay? I also made another promise recently that, hey, I'm going to do until the beginning of 2024. Once again, whether I feel like it or not. I made a promise, a declaration to myself that I'm going to stick with 300 push-ups and 300 sit-ups a day. Okay? I made a promise. And whenever I make a promise to myself, I put my life on it. And some of you guys want something, but you don't want it bad enough. And so that promise, it's not even a true promise. And like, think about it. If you can't even make a promise to yourself and actually be disciplined enough and prioritize yourself to make a commitment that, hey, I'm going to stick to my word, you're not going to be able to achieve the success that you want. You're not going to be able to lose the amount of weight that you truly want and keep it off for good. You're not building up the habits. You don't have the right mindset. And so for starting off, right, you got to make a promise to yourself, and you have to prioritize that. Honestly, you have to prioritize that. Now, today's episode, right, we're talking about starting off small so you can finish big, right? Have big results at the end of the year, whatever the case may be is for you. What is something small that you can start off today? I hate when guys tell me like, oh, I'm just going to cut out carbs, or I'm just going to do a whole bunch of cardio or intermittent fasting, or, try Noom or Weight Watchers or Optavia, like all these different things that it's not sustainable. It doesn't work at all. At the end of the day, like most of the time, these guys that have failed, cutting out carbs, right, and regain the weight right back, they go back to doing it again, thinking that the outcome is going to be different. And it's stupid. In fact, Albert Einstein said it best: the definition of insanity is doing the same things over and over again, expecting different results. So I think it's time to, one, make a promise to yourself, a declaration, a commitment. You're taking ownership that, hey, I am going to do this, no ifs, ands, or buts. But here's the thing. Why dive in head first to cutting out carbs? Why dive in head first to all this amounts of cardio? Why dive in head first to, intermittent fasting? Pick something that's small, pick something that's sustainable, and I promise you this, right? Your buddies out there that think, cutting out the beer, cutting out fast food, all the sugar, and doing Whole30 and cutting out their carbs, they're not going to last more than 2 months. They're not. But if you can start off small, I promise you this, in let's say 4, maybe double the amount of time after they give up, you're going to see those results. But here's the beauty of this. Even though it's taking longer, you're going to be able to stick with it. So then a few more months, you're still doing it. A few more months, still doing it. A few more months, still sticking with it. Because that's how it needs to be. That's sustainability. That's something easy. And you can do anything, right? As long as you stick with it. But you need to start off small. Stop thinking you need to dive in head first. Stop thinking you need to cut out all your carbs. Stop thinking you need to do all this nonsense that just isn't sustainable, doesn't work for your lifestyle, doesn't work for you long term at all. It's nothing more than just these quick wins, but they're ultimately leading you down a game of loss where you're not winning, you're not having success. Like, sure, you're scoring some points, but you're not actually winning the game at the end of the day. That's what cutting out carbs is. That's what fasting is. That's what endless amounts of cardio is. So what is some things that you can stick with that's actually sustainable? That you can start off small and consistently do throughout the course of the year that is going to give you exactly the body, the mindset that you want. And that's the key thing. The mindset. See, here's the thing. Sometimes when I come on these podcasts and record these episodes, I don't feel like it. Sometimes when I come on these podcasts and record them, I have no voice at all. Sometimes I'm sick and I still do it. Same thing with my push-ups and sit-ups. Regardless, I still do it. And at the end of the day, you know what also improves? My mindset. Because I'm mastering the form of consistency. I'm mastering the form of discipline to where if I'm literally pushing myself outside my comfort zone to make and forcing myself to do something that I don't feel like doing that for that particular day, guess what? I'm expanding my comfort zone. I'm making it, right? So that way it's a lot easier for me. So when life does throw curveballs, adversity, and stress my way, hey, I already know how to get through that because I already challenge myself each and every day to having the mindset to show up, whether you feel like it or not. That's where success lies from. So what are some things? Simple things, right? Once again, it's all about start out small so you can finish big at the end of the day. Simple things to help you. Whether you want to lose weight, burn body fat, put on lean muscle tissue, have more energy, have more sex drive, because obviously if you're burning more body fat, you're going to increase your amounts of testosterone naturally. Hey, why don't you focus on a step goal? Why don't you focus on a protein target? Why don't you focus on an activity goal, like maybe push-ups or sit-ups, right? Why don't you focus on drinking more water? Why don't you focus on prioritizing your sleep? Like anything that you can do to start off small. Now, I'm not saying like, hey, just because you hear me say like, oh, I'm recording a podcast Monday through Friday, I'm doing push-ups and sit-ups each and every day. I'm not saying you need to do that, right? But why don't you make a promise to yourself? Let's say push-ups and sit-ups. I'm pretty sure realistically you can do that 4 times a week. Give yourself a small goal. Some of our guys that sign up for our coaching program, like we start off very small, very, very small with somebody. Like maybe if they've never worked out before and they don't go to the gym and they got a bad back, bad knees, we'll give them the easiest consistency habits ever. Like 10 to 50 push-ups a day, 3 times a week, right? If let's say it's sit-ups on the ab mat, right, which is very easy and comfortable to do, especially if you have a bad back. Hey, 10 to 50 crunches a day on the ab mat, right? Do that like 3 to 4 times a week. Going for your steps, trying your best to get in, maybe like, start off small. We focus on a 10,000 step goal, right? That's ideal because now you don't have to worry about all this cardio. Now it makes it very easy to burn body fat without doing endless amounts of cardio. Hey, just focus on a step goal. But maybe 10,000 is shooting it a little bit too high, too steep, way too soon. That's fine. Some guys, we start with 5,000. Very realistic, very easy. And then we progress to 7,000. And then we progress to 9. And then 10,000. And then eventually when they get there, they're like, hey, this is great. This is easy. I can stick with this because they already built up those habits leading up the mountain. Some of you guys just need to take priority over your life. Some of you guys need a better mindset. Some of you guys just honestly need to make a promise to yourself, a declaration to yourself, and a commitment that, hey, at the end of the day, this is your life. If you want to improve on it, hey, you got to put in the work. No one else is going to just hand you some magic fat loss pill that's going to take away all your pain and suffering and help you, get the body and the mind that you want. Like, no, you got to show up. But what is the promise that you can make for yourself? It doesn't have to be hard. I think realistically, though, guys just think it has to be hard because they do all the hard things. They do all the wrong things that make it so much harder for them at the end of the day because at the end of the day, they go back to their old ways. They go back to feeding the bad wolf. They don't ever see the success that they truly want. And if you just focus on the small things, it can be anything, like literally anything. Focus on drinking more water. Focus on getting more steps, some push-ups, some sit-ups. Focus on hitting a certain protein goal, right, that you can aim and easily achieve, right, to better aid you in, obviously speed up your metabolism, burning body fat. That might be as simple as like, hey, every single day I'm going to have like 1 protein bar or 1 protein shake. Because realistically, you're probably not having enough protein now. So if you can start small like that, I think anybody can consume a protein shake. Anybody can consume a protein bar. It's just showing up. No one is going to force you, right, to make a protein shake and chug it down your throat, right? No one's going to force you to, eat a protein bar. It's something that you have to want. But this brings us to the very first part, of today's episode. It's how bad do you actually want it? Like, what do your goals actually mean to you? If it's not high up on your priority list, at the end of the day, like, you're not going to have success because you don't care about it that bad. Now, the reason why I care so much about, like, showing up, doing my push-ups and sit-ups, recording the podcast, right, working out, hitting my protein goal, steps, everything like that, isn't just because, I'm in the fitness business industry and I'm a CEO of my company. No. The reason why I care so much about that is because it shows you the fruits of your labor. If somebody's in shape, they have obviously discipline. They have consistency, right? And that's something that you can't just buy off the shelf, right? That's something that you have to put in the work. You have to show up for, whether you feel like it or not. Successful people do what they have to do, whether they feel like it or not. And like, it also goes more than that. Like, sure, like I'm disciplined because I've been doing this for so long and it's fun, right? Like it's never a, oh man, I got to go work out like mentality. It's no, I get to work out. I enjoy this. But you know what I like more about that? It's the fact that, yes, it builds discipline. Yes, it builds consistency habits and a better mindset. But most importantly, I'm leading by example for my son. My son gets to see that. I go to the gym Monday through Friday, first thing in the morning, after I do my morning routine, working on my mindset, because that's very, very important. And when I get home in the mornings, before I take him to daycare, guess what? He's right there at the door. Daddy's home, daddy's home, daddy's home. He knows I'm at the gym. And so when I come home, he's so happy to see me. And then we immediately go down the ground. We start doing our push-ups together. It's building up leadership skills. It's building up better habits to where my son can follow through in my footsteps. It's also making sure that, hey, at the end of the day, I'm a man of my word. I'm making a promise to myself, a declaration that, hey, I'm going to do this. And I want to make sure that my son, right, leads by example. I want to make sure that if he ever says he's going to do something, he's going to stick to his word. I think there's a lot of honor in that. But in today's society, like I said, a lot of people are soft. A lot of people are catered because we have everything at a fingertip away. You know, at the end of the day, if you truly cared about yourself, if you truly cared about your family, if you truly cared about improving your health, improving your life, you have to be willing to put in the work. And don't make the same mistakes that everybody does. Cut out carbs, endless amounts of cardio, intermittent fasting. Start off small. If you start off small and treat this like a marathon and not a sprint, I promise you without a doubt, a year from today, you're just going to be blown away with the amount of results that you're going to have. And I promise you this also, that mindset is going to be completely different to where now you understand the process. You understand that any kind of goals that you want to achieve in your life, hey, as long as you show up, put in the work, become a man of your word, promise you, you're going to have success in anything that you do. So guys, that's it. Master consistency, show up. But here's the thing, start off small. Either, focus on a protein goal, push-ups, sit-ups, right? Make a promise to yourself, working out a few times a week, getting your steps, drinking plenty of water, whatever you can do that you can consistently do over time, you're going to have success. That's it. So guys, this has been the Heartletics podcast with Coach Joe. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys next time. Peace out, Girl Scout.